Pablo Picasso was an interesting person. In fact, he used to carry around a gun loaded with blanks that he would fire at anyone he found boring. This sense of weirdness and curiosity carried over into his art. He was a very revolutionary artist for his time. Hi, my name is Mario Castillo, and today I will be covering Picasso's three most famous periods in his art. First, the Blue Period, second, the Rose Period, and lastly, the Cubist Period. To begin with, let me discuss Picasso's most melancholy and earliest periods, his Blue Period. Picasso's Blue Period was a time where most of his art, according to pablopicasso.org/blue period, from 1901 to 1904, where his paintings were monochromatic with the use of mostly blues and greens. During this time, he produced some of the most melancholy works of his life. His portraits, the subject matter was usually of beggars, prostitutes, drunks, and failed people. In The Old Guitarist, one of the most famous paintings of this time, in it he paints an old man who looks almost like a zombie. This creates a sense of fear and dread. And the only thing that gives the painting light is the brown guitar. At the time, the only colors that gave his paintings light were browns and light grays. Now, some of you may be wondering what happened to him that his paintings were filled with such sadness. Well, in 1901, his friend Carlos Casagemas died. His works during this time is a reflection of the deep depression he felt during the death of Casagemas. Sadly, this depression wouldn't end until after the Cubist period. After the Blue Period came the Rose Period, which lasted from 1904 to 1906. There's a significant change in art style. The new period is defined by the dominance of a new cheerful art style with the colors orange and pink being used to brighten up the paintings of this time. According to masterworksfineart.com, when compared to the Blue Period, these paintings were happy, and instead of the dark subject matter of the Blue Period, the Rose Period featured more spirited subjects, just like circus performers. Also in this period, Picasso started to use line and color in a more abstract way. An interesting theme of his paintings of this time was that even though the tone was happy, the subject matter was usually isolated. This is because Pablo Picasso wanted to show the beauty of the outcast, hence his most prominent subject matter, circus performers. The Rose Period was not as popular as the Blue Period, but it was the most important through an art historian point of view. This is because, according to pablopicasso.org/Rose Period, during the Rose Period, Pablo Picasso would for the first time in his career develop a stylistic means that would become part of the Picasso style, which made him the most important artist of the 20th century. In 1904, Picasso met Fernande Olivier, who was a French artist and model who became his inspiration and mistress. Because of Olivier, he experienced great happiness, which led him to change his art style. According to masterworksfinance.com, Olivier is credited with helping Picasso transition from the coldness of the Blue Period to the warmness of the Rose. Finally, my last topic I'm going to cover is Picasso's most famous period, the Cubist period. In this period, instead of focusing on color, the bigger focus was on shapes and stripping down objects into their basic geometric shapes. During this period, Picasso was driven to the more abstract. He developed some of the most iconic paintings of his career. For example, Guernica by Pablo Picasso was his most famous painting. It was a way to criticize the Nazis for the casual bombing of Guernica during the Spanish Civil War. Because of this, the painting has also become an anti-war symbol. In the painting, Picasso uses shapes to convey the fear and chaos that the victims had experienced during the bombings. In the center of the painting, there is a mess of legs, heads, and different body parts that developed a sense of fear and chaos. Picasso did not work alone in his Cubist style. And according to Britannica.com, he worked with Georges Barkhuizen from 1909 to 1912 to develop an analytical cubism, which is the form of cubism that is found in almost every art of his from this point on. At first, many critics and viewers thought it was just geometric art, but through time, Picasso and Barkhuizen developed cubism to differentiate it more from geometric art. Thanks to the combined effort of Picasso and Barkhuizen, they created the Cubist movement, which inspired other artists through their art. Over time, Picasso and Barkhuizen's art style started to differ. According to pablopicasso.org/Cubism, even though they both went to the abstraction, Picasso used Barkhuizen's geometry to create an art style that was only abstract in essence. Today we discussed the three most influential periods in Picasso's art. We discussed the the sadness of the blue period, the colorful rose period, and the geometric cubist period. Pablo Picasso was a great artist, revolutionary for his time. So I'm going to finish this off with a quote by Pablo Picasso that perfectly reflects that. That is, everything you can imagine is real. Thank you.